you doing?
Pretty good. I'm just learning about the roller coaster.
Yeah?
So yeah, we're really high. I worked only on contract for like a couple weeks. It took me so much time, and we have an event coming up for Thanksgiving, so I had to put that aside. But now everything is closing pretty much, so I have so much more time to work on the event and then work on like side projects, just like redoing the listing package and all that stuff. So yeah, I
Okay.
didn't realize how much it could be. I know it shouldn't be roller coaster, but I also realized that um, if I don't have time to work on a project at some point, I will have time later.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's keeping the priority piece of that. Yeah.
right.
Okay. So one of the and then that actually makes me think back to we had talked about how are you with have you started to kind of create your schedule?
Um, it depends. So, I mean, I always have. I mean, I still have my book here, where like every day I put a list of everything I have to do, or that I should be doing during the week, and then I prioritize every morning, and then yeah, I mean, everything gets done by the end of the day that needs to be done for that day, and every week also every stuff I have to do by the end of the week is always done too.
Okay.
Um, And now that I know more and more about how the business work, I find it easier to do some task like first or like in the afternoon or that kind of stuff. Um, but they're asking me more and more things to do. Of course, since I take less time to do the stuff I already know about. So yeah, it fills up my day pretty well.
Well, and are we part of that, like the 30, 60, 90 is identifying like, are we doing our 20%? That's that first 90 days. We're really focused on our 20% items, getting that. And then there's some things that we bring into that. Have y'all looked at or started creating your 411 yet?
For next year?
Well, or even for now, either.
Not yet. No.
So that's my intent on today's call. And mine's on here as well. And we it looks like we're not going to have a big group today, so this could kind of be really cool. This may continue to help you with that schedule, because it's very much like you naturally do a good job of prioritizing, right? You know, I've got a list, I've got to come back and prioritize. That's huge. And then we want to make sure we're keeping an eye on the overall big picture of prioritizing for the team. Some of this won't have been introduced to you yet. Some of it you'll need to, ask and that type of thing. I do want to, we do want to start working on creating that 411.
All right.
And I'm about to share my screen and give you an example of one. Okay, here we go. Okay. So one of the things that you want to look at with John, and we want to, with your 411, for this month, I'm going to suggest that get with John and create, instead of your annual goal, what we want is to know November and December. So at the end of December, if you're looking at your 411, what are the things that you have accomplished? What are the projects you've completed? What do you know? That way, you and he are on the very same page of these pieces. And then once you, and then as y'all are putting the business plan together, y'all are going to take this and you'll create next year's. but we want to look at this. So for your, for your job, what is it? And this is an example of an assistance one. Make all, manage contracts to closing on time and accurately, make sure all disbursements are paid, maintain weekly communication, report to the team on status of contracts, keep an accurate up-to-date contact list of vendors and service providers. Yours might be completely, some of that is obviously going to be your job, but there may be other things. So get with John and have him help you with those top 4. And then of course you can look at, personal. What are the things that I want to do personally that's going to move me forward into this, in this position? And so that I'm always looking at, what's my growth plan? How do I, continue to grow this in this role? From here, you're going to break that down into your monthly goals. So if you look at, again, this is an example of if this was our goal, manage 11 contracts through the closing process, assure that all the information is MCA within 24 hours of closing, call all clients in the process weekly with updates, provide weekly reports to Millie. Now, the question that I would have around, if we look at your monthly goals, would be, and I'm going to kind of do an overview and then we're going to actually look at that. But when you look at your monthly goals, you want to think, what are the 3 to 4 top things that if these get done, I'm moving the business forward. So for instance, you have an event. Not only do we want to make sure that we've got that event in place, but maybe it's create an action plan so that I can use that for the next event so that we're not always starting over type thing. And then based on that month, you go, okay, well, if this is the month's goal, what do I need to do this week that ensures I win the month? So that's kind of an overview of what that 411 looks like. So if you were, and we're going to actually, let me see. Mon, will you put an example 411 in the chat box?
Let me get one. Wait, I might select my own 411.
Go ahead. It's probably a good one.
Let me see. Oh, here, I got a template. Let me just get the link. Mine is kind of messy, so here.
It's all right. Oh, thank you.
Okay.
All right. So, all right. So let's click on that, and this is we can actually.
I'll need access, I guess. I just sent you a request.
Oh, okay. Let me give you access. Okay, there you go.
Now the cool part is this will also help whenever, because there are times where you're going to have, as you move forward and you continue to take more and more control over owning the admin part of that role, there are going to be times where you're going to start looking at things and going, we need to do this differently. There's a more effective way, a more efficient way. I want to create this. I want to present it back to the team. And yet, so the greatest piece would be to do this for your personal as well. But if we looked at professional, this is kind of, if you, for lack of a better word, we're going to say this is the, this is our trial run, right? So this is something that you can share with John and y'all can really make it. But if we looked at, so instead of annual goal right here, we're going to put November through December. And right now, if you were to say, how clear are you on, or what would you say are your top 3 to 4 things that you want to know, learn, or have in place before December?
Is it things that I'm doing right now?
Yeah, it can be things that you're doing right now. It can be it could be
because there's things that I'm doing every day that, I mean, I know I can get better. The contract to close, there's always like that one situation you've never seen before. So the more I will see those like unusual situations, the better I'll get to it. So
okay, so if we look at contract to close, because that is something that right. So if we look at contract to close, how would we know? Like we always look at, we want to either create it as a SMART goal, specific, measurable, action, time bound, realistic, or we want to know, how do we know when that gets done? So for you to how do you know that you're doing a good job with contract to close?
I feel like if the client is not reaching out directly to the agent, that means that I'm giving them the information they need.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I still have progress to make on this just because I'm new to the real estate. So there's obviously some question that I'm not able to answer. So the more I'm learning, the less I should be the less the client should be talking directly to the agent.
Okay. If we looked at, okay, I like that. So I'm trying to think, how would we, okay, well, so contract to close, do you have these, the clients, are they filling out a survey about, it could be at the end or throughout, about how you're doing or how the team's doing?
No, we just ask for like referral or reviews.
Okay.
There's not really a survey at any point. No.
Okay. So that might be something that you would do, because that would let you know what's the experience like on their end. Mm-hmm. So the other piece would be, have you spoken with other agents that are handling contract to close? I'm sorry, other admin that's handling contract to close, to see what they're doing?
Yes, and I mean, I see that they are doing more, but I guess the one that I'm talking a lot with, she is just an agent and an admin, so she could be at inspection, she's in and out, she's maybe at her office every other day because she's always like running right and left. And I'm really not like that. I'm in the office because there's always with 3 agents, there's always something I need to do here. And of course, if there was an inspection where they wouldn't be able to go, I would be the one going. But yeah, I'm mainly in my office, so that's a little different than other admin, I guess.
Okay. Well, yeah, and a lot of that could be, so if we looked at with contract to close, knowing what you know now, mm-hmm. and knowing, right, there's more to know. Is there something that you would have in place? Is there something that you would be, you would implement? Is there anything in there that between now and December, we would want to say, this is a priority?
I'm not sure. Because I mean, now that I'm more confident, I'm talking to them on the phone, I'm talking to client quite a bit. So at the start, I was really just emailing, and then stuff was not getting done sometimes because it was taking too long. So now I'm just like, okay, whatever. I'm just going to call everybody, make stuff like move along because there's deadlines to meet. But what between now and December, I don't know. Like for example, the home warranty, I take care of that myself. Like I don't talk to anybody except the clients. Like if they want one, I just go ahead, give them the options, talk to the insurance company, book it myself. So that's something I was not doing like a month ago, but I just picked it up. So, but I don't know what the next step exactly would be because for repairs, I'm not licensed, so I cannot negotiate anything. So I'm studying right now. So I don't know how long it's going to take me because I'm almost done with studying. So all the material, but I still have to practice. So it would be great if I can get my license by December, but I don't know how realistic it is because I'm doing that on my personal time. And yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I used to do every day like 2-3 hours, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, repairs would be a big step, but it's not just contract to close. It would also be if I get the license. Yeah. So it involves more than just contract.
Okay, so that might be the thing. So if you think about, so between now and December, what is your goal? Would it be to be 50% through with the course, 100% through? Would it be to be ready to take
December, 100%. For sure.
100% complete with real estate course.
Yeah, and then just practicing. So it would be, I would be done with the classes, just need to, get ready for the test.
Okay. So that's one thing that we rate. That's a measure that we can track. When we think contract to close, have you, with the stuff that you're learning in Monica Reynolds, the Perfect Real Estate Assistant, which session are you on right now?
We just got done with contract to close on the buying side.
Okay. So is there anything that she introduced during that piece that you want to implement that you're not already doing?
It's difficult. I was talking to John about it because I'm probably the third or fourth admin and they all took that class. So all the procedures that we have come from that class. So they're using almost everything. And then the additional step that we could take, like 2 weeks ago when we had like 15 contracts like starting, I would tell you there is no way on earth I could do an extra step just because there's so much going on. So if there's a second admin coming on board, then I feel like we could maybe do more about promoting like a listing in the neighborhood by mailer, that kind of things. There are like added projects that we don't really need, but we could use. So if we had more people or more time, then definitely we could do it. Or more also get more involved with the other agent on the other side of the transaction, just sending them like a letter after closing or that kind of steps that are not necessary for a contract to close, but who can add some quality. You can grow your database. You can
okay. So it might be have a list or create a next steps customer service.
Sure. Yeah.
Agent
relation.
Yeah.
I know what you. Yeah, it's like so not necessary steps, but like extra step that could benefit to the group.
Yeah, like could bring some extra value.
Yes.
Because yeah. Okay. And then, so what about, so you've been through that many transactions now, and they're starting to wind down. Are you, are you doing anything like timing yourself or figuring out, you know what, I actually could do like now it took me, an hour to do it before. Now I can do it in 45 minutes, or now I've got this system so that we're getting time back? Anything like that?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting way faster in like starting a new file or yeah, just getting everything set up for sure. Also, it's easier to know who I should contact in what situation, so I don't have to ask two people like, oh, there's a hold up, where does it come from? No, like before I had to like ask people, but now I'm like, oh, that's probably like a lender issue, or I don't know, like an inspector or an appraiser. So like it saves me so much time.
Okay, perfect. Okay. And then let me see there. Okay, and then when you think about, so those are the transaction to close pieces. What are some of the other pieces that you're working on right now that you're like, maybe I need to create a system around this, or we want to nail this? What else are you doing or between, like, that you'll be doing between now and December?
I'll probably do more Facebook ads. We have the lab, Command Lab, who helps us out. So I didn't do any this week, but I usually try to have one ad running at least every week that brings lead to the team. So that's something I should do. Probably if I had more time, I could analyze what is working better and less, but like, yeah, it would require like more time. So like right now is something that I could be doing, for example, tomorrow. But yeah, that's probably something I could be doing.
Okay, so between like now and December, we would maybe identify. How did you said it? It was, what was the? How did you say it around like knowing which ads work? But how did you say that?
Just it's probably seeing what works and what is not working, like in terms of leads and different markets. Like we're trying to send ads like outside of Florida, so then we can get people who want to relocate. Now that people realize that they can work from home, more and more people are willing to come to a place where, I mean, they can just hang out outside during most of the year. So, yeah.
So if I put like track Facebook ads, leads and results, that would be like between now and where you could create that. Okay. Anything else that you can think of right now that you already know that you want to do or need to do to continue growing in your role?
I think I would definitely need to find a way to help the agents lead gen. I mean, in the end, like it's everybody choice and like motivation that will make them lead gen, but I should still be someone that lead them to lead gen for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that question for a while, but I haven't found the answer for sure.
Okay. So identify how to support the agents in lead gen. And then the other big piece is going to be, or another big piece is, do you have a goal of how many referrals and reviews you'll get?
I try to get a review for each transaction. That's the goal. Yeah.
Okay. And how many have you gotten so far?
For the transaction that have been closed since I've started to work, I think it's about one for each.
Okay.
So one review, yeah. And because and I'm even trying to get to the clients that have not answered review before I started to work here to leave reviews for them.
Okay.
Yeah,
so okay, that's awesome. So you've got the reviews. We also want to have the referrals. So if we were to say, one review per closing and 4 referrals by the end of the year.
Okay.
Right. And it's sometimes it's like, okay, you know how to get the reviews, but then, okay, well, what do we have to say for the referrals? Well, that's something that we'll put into place.
Sure.
Hey, Tanya, this is exactly what you need to be creating for yourself and then working with your admin to create. So this is perfect. All right. So, okay. So is there anything else, JB, that, if, again, I know that you're going to take this and you're going to run this by John and Anya, but is there anything else you can think of, or you already know, like you've been thinking about how to support the agents in lead gen? Is there anything else you can think of right now that you know that you'd like to nail between, November and December?
There would definitely be some things to go with comment. We have comment team, and there's a lot of things that are shifting around, working one day, not working another day. So there's a lot of technical aspect of comment that I need to fix or just find a way around so then it doesn't cause any trouble for the agents during the day.
Okay.
Right now it could be a blocker at some point. So yeah, definitely. And there was a big release in Command maybe last week for the teams, and there's a few things that stopped working or not working the same anymore. So I definitely have to spend time with that.
Okay. All right, perfect. Anything else?
I think this week I started the class for recruiting a new admin.
Okay.
So it's starting this week. Yeah, so this is something I'll have to, it's probably a lot of material that I'll have to learn and learn how to use.
Okay. People leverage class to CV, 30, 60, 90.
Yes, that's what it is. CV, 30, 60, 90, and STO.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Okay. So that's something that we're doing this month. Now, if we look at these pieces up, and then you're working on you're working on the November event, right?
Yes. I mean, now we're only a few days off. Okay. So yeah, it's by the end of it's the 24th, okay. So it's coming up.
How do you know it's a success?
Well, it will be the number of referral we get, or number of people that will use us for their next transaction, probably. That will be like, yeah, will be a way out, I think, because I don't know how many people are willing to do anything like in the next few months, but referral should be a good one right away. Yeah.
Now, as a team, did y'all talk about, and y'all may not have, did y'all talk about how to quantify that November event? Like, how would you know that your part was done at the highest level?
For myself personally,
mm-hmm.
I think it's all the logistic of it, like having just people informed. Yeah, I did the invitation. I'm getting, I got a mailer out today. Just having the pies ready, that's going to be my thing too. The label for asking for referrals as well.
Okay.
And then logistic the day off too.
Okay. All right. So something that I'm going to suggest is go to them and have a goal. Like have everybody go, okay, what is our goal for number of referrals from this event, right? And that way y'all have something you can track there that we know, okay, we nailed it. We have more opportunity, right? That kind of gives us that, okay? All right, and then we know that this month, what is your goal? Like how many reviews have you already gotten in November? And based on how many closings you have right now, how many do you plan on? How many think that you'll end up with getting for November?
Let's see, 1, 2. I would say about 8, 9.
Okay. So our goal is 8 referrals. And
Oh, you mean
reviews, sorry,
yeah.
reviews.
Okay.
And we want to get 2 referrals. And I'll share with you something on how to get that. All right, and then this month, I'm going to say that we're probably not going, it does not seem to be, the tracking the Facebook leads and results, that's probably not, when we look at the order of importance, that's probably not going to be this month's. Obviously, if you have time, you could do that. Is there, for identify how to support the agents in their lead generation? Is there anything in, actually, I would say for now, for the month of November, it really is getting, starting to ask, not just get the reviews, but and also ask for the referrals. Is there anything else that that if you do it this month, it's going to move us closer to these goals?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, I redone all the listing presentation, and I mean, I think it looks good now. John was talking about maybe doing the buyer presentation, but the buyer agent didn't tell me anything, so I think they're happy with what they have, but I could probably present them something different.
Okay.
Switch it over.
So that may be, that may be when you go back to John with this to ask him, right? These are the things that I'm seeing, these are probably our top 3. Is there something else that we need to, and remember, there's only 2 weeks left in November. So this is
right.
This is probably right, because these are the things that are going to continue to move it forward, but you're already doing things. So it might be that piece. And then, so if we did that, then what we would do is we would go, okay, so you would take the week. And so this is the week of November, we're going to say 8 through the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
If this is the goal to have done in November, what are we doing this week on these items? And so when did you say the people leverage class was?
Thursday and Friday afternoon.
Okay, so that's this week.
Yes. The 12th and 13th. I would say we want to start identifying, and this actually, I'm going to put it back up here. Identify what's needed for the second hire. Pay, duties, behavioral style. Like we want to, that will, right, like that goes hand in hand with this. But who's that second person? Is it a full-time person, part-time person? Is it a cyberbacker? Is it a live person? Is it a runner? Like, what is that? And then if we come here and then we said, so part of that's the people leverage class. The November event, is that this week? No, it's the 24th.
Okay. So what is it that you need to do that you're doing this week that's going to support that event? What's the most important piece?
I just send the mailer out like 10 minutes before to go on this call. Okay.
Anything else you need to do this month for the event?
I have to keep checking their RSVP to have a better idea of how many will be, how much guys will need. What do I need to do? I sent in a list of the people who haven't answered yet to the agents so they can call their clients.
Okay.
Yeah, I think for this week, that's probably all I will be doing.
Okay. And then how many reviews are you going to ask for this week?
So three.
Okay. And then I want you to read the prompt, or I want you to watch the promise. I'll send it to you, link or the video, because that walks you through how to start asking for the referrals.
Okay.
And what and John and Anya are familiar with that as well. That way you can say, hey, I'm ready to start asking. This is what I need you to do, type thing.
Sure. Yeah, I already have it in some emails.
Okay.
I integrate like pieces of it every now and then when I talk to clients. Just not on the phone, just by email.
Okay.
Mentioning the agent and the promise they made. And
okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, that way we could start asking for those pieces. And then so yeah, that way then you can look at this and go, and this is the cool part is you take this to John and you, okay, when these things are complete this week, did I win the week? Did I move the business forward? And he gets to say absolutely, or and this, or not this, right? And then every week, you know you're winning. He knows you're winning, right? And then we're always moving that business forward. And then when you look at your schedule, you go, okay, are these are the pieces that have to be on it. Where do I need to move the other things around to make this fit? And sometimes where do I need to get somebody else involved in to help so that this all works? And then I would say the same thing. So like for you to be 100% complete with the real estate course, what percentage do you need to be by the end of November? Like where are you at right now versus?
I'm probably, I'd say at 70% right now. So if I get to 80, 85 by the end of November, it should be good.
Okay. And so this week, do you plan on doing that, any of that this week?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, every night, 2 hours, 3 hours.
Okay. So, gosh, is that 10 hours this week or 8 hours that you'll end up spending?
I'll do, let's say 5, yeah. 10 hours sounds great. Yeah, 10 hours.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So, yeah. And then these are the things, right, that move forward in your schedule, that type of thing. I know this is probably one of, if not the first time that you've kind of been exposed to the 411. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts around utilizing this to make sure that you're staying on purpose and moving it forward?
I mean, I feel like maybe I'll maybe try to find some time to do the things that I don't feel like are vital to what I'm doing every day. So all the things that I'm like, but for example, tracking the Facebook ads or trying to find a way to help lead gen. This is something, it's in the back of my head, but like I'm not doing it right now just because I feel like there's other stuff that are really important that I need to be doing first. Maybe if I have the other things in front of me, maybe I'll try to find time to do it more. But yeah. I would have to see how it goes before I can definitely say something, because if tomorrow we have 3 new contracts, then those analyzing things tasks will probably fall back again.
Yeah. Well, and that's where we go, okay, these are the priorities, and yet we're always going to, right, you could use your EQ to make the adjustments. And keeping in mind that a lot of times we think, how do we help the agents lead generate? You did that already this week. When you gave them the list of people that haven't RSVP'd, that's how you help them. Whenever you're getting the reviews, and then whenever you start getting the actual referrals, that's how you're helping them lead generate. So yeah, I love where you're going with what are the other ways, but that's absolutely part of this. And then if you look at this week, you know, it kind of breaks it down. So you're not having, you know, even though you want to work on the Facebook stuff, we don't even have that in for November.
Right.
If you get to it, that's great, but you don't even have to, you still know it's out there, but it's not something that's like the most important. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I still feel like, I mean, every agent, one thing should be lead gen, and I feel like I should be helping more, just because I've seen how things go, like since I started, and yeah, that should be my priority. I feel like.
Well, and that may be, have you asked them?
Yeah, I mean, they're always up for finding different ways to do things, because it's not always working right now, but
yeah,
I mean, I feel like I'll need more experience.
Yeah.
And see, yeah.
Well, and sometimes like we'll take, like, let's say John, for instance, it might be for helping him lead generate. It might just be to help block for him. So if you were to ask them, he might say, look, you know, don't let anybody else get to me between these hours. Like, even if I want to say, no, John, you do that. Right. So yeah, that's perfect. All right. All right, awesome. Okay, so that's really what we were going to cover today, is just how to do the 411. JB, you were actually the you kind of our guinea pig with the admin piece of it. So I appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate the time. Now it's all done for me, so
yeah. That's cool. If we could, I'd love to be like, woohoo, we'll give you a hand, but there's like everybody's off camera. So I would love to hear, so like Tanya, Andy, Daisy, anything on here that just walking through it, because I know y'all are familiar with doing it, you know, yourself, whether you do it or not. Any thoughts, ahas, what'd you learn type thing?
Are you asking about the 411, what we learned while doing it?
What you learned on the 411, or what you learned on, you know, how you can utilize this for your 411?
Well, I kind of got in here late. I thought it was a personal call, so I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but I am gonna, we've got a few minutes left. So the next piece for anybody that is on here we are gonna take some time in just a few minutes and go over the KDNA. So if anybody has questions around that. All right, so Tanya, you were here. Any takeaways from you? Any takeaways from you, Andy?
On what now? I'm sorry. I came in late too, because I was on Profit Camp.
Oh, how did that go? Your head explode?
You know, it's great information. You know how I process all that. I'm getting better.
That's right. All right. Well, all right. And then anything from you, Andy, before we go ahead and go through the KDNA real quick?
Not really.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And then it can, you know, today was really around, you know, an admin. But so in the cool part, so like Andy, you're looking at, okay, what's my admin? What do I want them to do?
Right.
These are some of those pieces, right? So kind of thinking around that.
First.
Do what?
I said I need me to do it first.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move over to the KDNA really quick. If you are doing the KDNA and you don't need help, feel free to jump off. If you have questions or anything, we're gonna do that together. So, and then Daisy, we're gonna use your KDNA if that's okay.
That's fine.
All right. Let me.
So that's, Olivia, the scoreboard, right?
Correct, the scoreboard. Now, we all know that you can get to it one of two ways, right? You can either get to it from your hub, or you can get to it from your email. And the email's probably the easiest one because you don't have to sign in again, right? You get an email at the beginning of every morning, and you will just, so I'm going to log in so that we're all looking at the same thing. And then I'm going to go to Daisy. Okay, so whenever, and this is going to be a little bit different than what you see in your email, but whenever, and so Daisy, I may even have you share your screen so we can, because this is something that everybody's kind of dealing with a little bit. We're going to go through real quick and set your goals and talk about them, and that way you can start putting in your actual. But whenever you click on that email, top left, and you don't have one right here. Let's see if it says, if I click on, yeah.
Oh my God.
No. You should see something that says update my to-do. Is everybody familiar with that piece where it says update my to-dos?
Yeah.
Or right here, I can say update tracker.
I always stumble on it.
Yeah, I'm actually going to see if I can, and I may have one of you guys share the screen because mine looks different because of the access that I have. But let me see if I can.
Do you want me to share mine?
Yes, if this doesn't work, I'm going to have you share yours.
Okay.
That way everybody's looking at what they would actually do versus my screen. Okay, yes. Let me, Daisy, go ahead and I'm going to have you, I'm going to stop my share and have you share your screen. Okay, perfect. Now this is from, so right here, what you can do is you've got your goal to the right, which we're going to go ahead and make an edit of that goal. And then you have your actuals. Your goal is the goal for the week. Your actual, because you want to put these in every day, your actual is for that day.
Okay.
All right. So if we look at this really quickly, so number of hours, script practice, role play. What is your goal for the week?
4.
Okay. Now, at the end, we'll save all these. So just so that everybody's aware, once you set the goal, you don't need to set, no, go ahead and change that. No, that's perfect. Once you set the goal, you don't need to change that every week, right? You're only going to change the actual. So let's do our goals really quick, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do your actual so that everybody kind of sees your goal number of hours prospecting.
Oh, do you want me to change them?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Hours prospecting. Oh.
And then your number of two-way conversations, we know that number is bigger for the week.
Yeah.
And your goal to ask for referrals.
Ooh, I mean, we should always ask for the referral, right?
Well, when we're lead generating, we're looking to get a referral, set an appointment, or strengthen a relationship. So let's say if you made 100 contacts this week, because let's say it's a internet lead. If it's the first time I've talked to them, I'm probably not going to ask for a referral. If I'm showing somebody, I can ask for a referral if I haven't already asked them this week or last week, that type of thing. If I'm calling past clients, then I can ask for a referral. So for now, let's say a good rule of thumb for you is to ask for 10 referrals a week. That means 2 a day.
Okay. So do you want me to put 10?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
What is your goal for new contacts added to the database?
5.
Okay. And now if we look at your goals, so buyer appointment set, that means, right, like verbally we set an appointment. Held, that means they actually showed, and taken. What is your goal there?
2.
And then for you, for listing appointments right now, you can go ahead and zero those out.
Okay.
For set, held, and taken.
Now, what if I do have like a goal to get, Tracy or my team leader at least one listing appointment?
Oh, then yeah, then you'd go ahead and hit 1. And then set and held, that would be the same.
Okay.
Sales open or under contract. We know that your goal is 5, right, between now and the end of the year. Or that, so we want, so for the week, we want 1.
Okay.
And then sales closed. You want at least the 1.
Okay.
And then are you, and then now the last sales closed GCI, let's leave it there for now. For days exercised, are you tracking that? Do you want to track that?
Sure. Yeah. 4 times a week.
All right. And then daily 20 minutes quality reading, is that something that you want to track?
Yeah. 5 is fine.
And then for videos, right now, you can make that 0 if you're not like, you don't. So now go ahead and hit save changes at the bottom. Now by putting 0 in, it'll get rid of anything you're not tracking, right? That's why we put zeros in those things. Now, all you have to do, so from now on, when you log in, you're just going to come in and put the actual. So for instance, so as of right now, how many hours have you script practiced?
None.
Okay. So now we go to, so we're at 0%. How many hours have you prospected?
Probably 1.
Okay. How many two-way conversations?
For the week?
Yeah, yesterday and today.
Yeah,
5. Okay. And have you asked for any referrals?
I have. I can't remember how many. I need to track this stuff.
And that's why from now, right, that's every day you're going to do. So just think, yesterday, right? And then new contacts added to the database. You added any new contacts?
2, yeah.
Have you set any buyer appointments?
Yes.
All right. Have you held any buyer appointments?
No, not yet.
And so then no agreements taken. Perfect. Okay. And have you set any listing appointments yet for this week?
Yes. Yeah, I have actually.
All right. And then, okay, held and taken. We haven't done that yet. Do you put anything under contract this week?
Yes.
All right. And did you close any? Did you have a closing yesterday or today?
No.
Okay. And days exercised? Today's Tuesday. How many days have you exercised? All right. And did you do 20 minutes quality reading yesterday?
Yes.
All right. And then hit save changes.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Now, what about, because I know last time we were on when we were on our call, you said, hey, go ahead and update the last couple of days. So how would I go back? Or you just go ahead and come in and do this?
So you can click where it says update last week. That's 2 weeks ago. And then you can hit update last week and you can put those numbers in too.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And but like if you're updating all of last week, just put like, one time, like,
right.
Yeah. For the whole week. Yeah.
Okay. Duh. Because the goal is for the week, right? Okay. Yeah. I thought we were doing individual days. Sorry.
Now, from now on, like the intent is for every day to update those. So like if you go back to today, so tomorrow morning, you're going to get an email. You can go ahead and do it right then but you're doing it this evening. So probably you'll, and everybody's different. Some people like doing it first thing in the morning when they get the email for the day before. Some people like to do it at the end of the day to kind of like tie a bow around their day and go, okay, I'm done. Either way, But so let's say you decided to do it in the evening. Tomorrow evening, you'll come in, and at that point, let's say you've done script practice, you're going to add 1.
Okay.
You've done some more prospecting, so you'll add how many hours to that, how many 2-week, right? You just keep growing that number,
Right.
and then you can see what percentage. And red means, woo, get busy. Yellow, it's kind of like red light, green light, right? Green's like, great job. You set a listing appointment. You put one under contract. Those are things awesome, right? And then the yellow is like, you're in the caution. We need to like move it forward type thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Does that help? Does that answer the question?
Yeah. No, it helps a lot.
Awesome.
Like
Okay.
I thought it was individual days, but it just clicked. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. No. That's okay. It's a new
I was
system.
thinking the same thing, that it was individual days.
Yeah.
So if we missed one, say if I missed yesterday, I
Then
can just go in and put yesterday and today on today.
Correct.
Because as long as I have my week total,
That's
all
right.
that matters.
That's
Okay.
right.
So what if we want to like add, so like the video down there, I would like to start incorporating video in my social media. So if I want to add it back in, how would I do that?
Anything that you want to, first I would say, yeah, anything that we want to track so that you can like, okay, I'm doing this. You can see where it says view non-active to-dos. There's a save changes, enter online, and then there's a question mark. Go
Save
down,
changes.
down.
Oh, right here.
View non-active. You can hit show. Go to the right. Hit show. And if you change any 0 to a number, it'll show up. And then you just hit save.
I'll do 1.
Yeah. And then you hit save, and now it'll track that for you. Now if you go back up and hit hide the non-actives,
Okay.
there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then if I have any notes for you, I can.
Yeah. You
put
can
this?
put them in there, and they come to, and so you put it in there, it comes to me, and when I reply, it goes back there, and you get a notification in your email.
Okay.
And then we have everything just right there. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right. Awesome. Perfect. All right. So Tanya, that seemed to help you too? She may not be on here anymore.
I sort of stumble into it every day, but I'm slower.
Stop it. That is a terrible affirmation. Look, this is Tanya has already blown past her goals for this year. So we want to celebrate that, and I'll be talking about you slow. We're learning. All right. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. Unless y'all have any questions or anything that y'all want to address. Otherwise, I'm leaving. I'm going to go for a run. Nope. All right.
Nope.
Speak now, forever hold your peace. All right. That's it. Have an amazing. Nope. That's it. Nothing. Bye. False alarm. Have an amazing week. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.